Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Ian Ernouf. I'm a resident of Bedford and an economics student at Dalhousie. I'm here to speak about housing and the glaring issue that faces all Canadians. In HRM, the main issue is that the cost of rent and real estate are exorbitantly high. The city is growing and is expanding, but there's an excess demand and a shortage of supply. High prices and a lack of availability. Some university students, like we saw in CBC recently from King's University, don't even have a home for the school year. We can acknowledge that there are efforts, as seen by the presentation by the staff earlier, that there are efforts made by the city to address the housing market, and you've taken action to address the housing market, but they aren't building enough. The demand is too high and it's increasing every year. Barriers to entry exist, like procedural complexity and excess R1 zoning in the city. Look at the zoning maps of HRM reflect this. Like when we look at the map that was on the screen earlier, showing the 25,000 or so units that are proposed, most of them were not in the city core, the city proper. We need more multiple dwelling homes like apartment houses, as noted in your policy document, the PDF, basically properties with more than 6 units. I petitioned that the Halifax Regional Municipality consider upzoning on the peninsula, as the majority of the units shown on the map were not near the peninsula. By upzoning, I mean change the residential zoning to allow for more multiple dwellings like apartment houses. I do not mean to say to build anything anywhere, but instead a calculated change enabling more multiple dwellings, reduce procedural complexity. An example in Canada would be Edmonton, who just is discussing the omnibus zoning bylaw. From this, Edmonton will become highly competitive when it comes to housing affordability. The demand in HRM will not cool to the level that we need with the buildings that we're constructing, as we see. Rents will continue to be astronomically high. Real estate will be high. Real wages will not increase to match this market. For the health of the HRM economy, the health and lifestyle of Nova Scotians, and to increase the appeal of HRM as a destination to live, I urge this council to consider actions supported by contemporary research, meaning upzoning, infill housing, simplifying procedure, and more. It's worth noting that there are also auxiliary benefits to those mentioned changes, improving environment and public safety. We all want the outcome of people to have affordable homes that they're proud to live in. And I think this is a pressing issue in HRM. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Renouf.
Thank you. My name is Joseph Kirby. I'm a resident of Dartmouth South. I don't really have too much to say. I just wanted to, I guess, echo some support for a previous speaker and something that I heard in the presentation earlier on today, where there was discussion about legalizing mobile homes on, I believe it was R1 zones. That's something that I completely support. But I think it needs to go further, which goes to another speaker who was speaking earlier about zoning reform, specifically legalizing like apartment complexes, things like condos on R1 zones and R2 zones as well, I think would alleviate a lot of the affordability pressures that are being experienced right now as a consequence of the housing shortage, not just happening here, but all over the country. And that's it. I just wanted to echo that support for that very specific targeted zoning reform. I'm not, building anything anywhere or anything like that, just this one very specific zoning code change that I think would be good for the HRM. And that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much.